body, and you can remember them using the mnemonic "Run, Mrs. Lydeck," and that helps you to remember them and make sure that you don't repeat. So they are the respiratory, urinary, nervous, muscular, reproductive, skeletal, lymphatic, integumentary, digestive, endocrine, and cardiovascular. So that's not in the same order that you see it here on the picture, but that is the way that you could remember the order of the 11 systems so that you don't forget one. Skeletons support the body. Animals move by the action of muscles, which needs some medium or structural element against which the force of contraction can be applied. Vertebrate skeletons are divided into two major portions, the appendicular and the axial. In this picture, you can see the axial is in green and the appendicular is in purple. The appendicular skeleton consists of the pectoral girdle, which is made up of the clavicle and scapula, with the attached upper limbs, and the pelvic girdle, which is the hip bones, essentially. It's a fusion of 3 bones, and the lower limbs. The axial skeleton includes the skull, vertebral column, which is individual bones separated by cartilaginous invertebral discs, the ribs, and the sternum. Bones have several roles in the body. They interact with muscles to maintain or change the position of body parts. They support the skin and soft organs. They form compartments that enclose and protect soft internal organs. For example, the skull protects the brain. And bone tissue acts as a depository for calcium, phosphorus, and other ions. Parts of some bones are sites also of blood cell production, both white and red blood cells. Joints are the areas of contact or near contact between bones. Freely movable joints are stabilized by ligaments, which are straps of dense connective tissue that attach bone to bone. Cartilaginous joints, such as between the ribs, permit very slight movement, because your ribs can technically flex. Joints, however, are vulnerable to stress. Stretching or twisting a joint may result in a strain, which is the tearing of ligaments or tendons off of that bone. If you have tearing completely, it's called a sprain. So most people go, oh, it's just a sprained ankle or whatever. That's actually a tearing off of ligaments off of your bone or tendons. In osteoarthritis, the cartilage at the end of the bone has worn away, and so bone is now grinding on bone, causing roughened surfaces, inflammation, and pain. In rheumatoid arthritis, that's an autoimmune disease, and the body basically starts to attack itself, and the membranes in the joints become inflamed, and the cartilage will degenerate, and bone becomes deposited into the joint until fusion happens. Skeletal muscles are functional partners with the bones. Each skeletal muscle contains several bundles of perhaps hundreds of thousands of muscle cells called muscle fibers. Each individual cell is called a fiber. Tendons, which are cord-like straps of dense connective tissue, attach muscle to bone. So that the way to remember it is bone to bone is ligaments, muscle to bone is tendons, and it goes in alphabetical order. Skeletal muscles are often